Well, in response to Charles Hodgson's question about how to make money as a mojo, or a VJ, as I would say, and also with respect to John Johansson's comment about reposting videos, I'm making this video directly for MojoCon, so this is just for you, although I may repost it somewhere else. You raised the question of how does a mojo or a VJ make money in today's world, and that's something that I want to address because that's something that is of particular concern to me, particularly if you saw my talk in Ireland last month or the month before. We are at a moment of enormous transformation and revolution in the television business. Video, television, online, it's all the same thing. And this represents enormous opportunities to make money. And let's be honest, as I always say, if there's no money, there's no journalism. Also, there's no lunch, there's no dinner, there's no rent. So this is something to really pay attention to. The world of television, and we'll use that as a generic, has changed enormously, just like the move to iPhones has changed enormously. On one side, we have the production, which we all understand how easy and inexpensive and simple producing high quality, or perfect, because it has to be perfect, quality video can be. On the other side, there's been a concurrent revolution in terms of platforms. 30 years ago, there were broadcasters. There was NRK, with respect to John. There was the BBC, there was NBC, there was ABC, there was CNN. And if you wanted to be in the television business, you became an employee for one of these people. This has all been fractionalized. First, cable came along, and we went from 3 networks in America to 500, and then satellite, and now the beginnings of internet with people like Netflix and Apple, who just produced a really terrible show, and Amazon, and this is just the very, very beginning of this third tier of content. What this means is that the amount of content, video content, has gone from here to virtually infinity. Every one of these cable channels, and there are like 300 cable channels in Poland. There are 2,000 cable channels in the United States. There are 600 cable channels in Britain. Every one of these cable channels requires content 24 hours a day. There's no point in owning a cable channel if you don't put something on the air. So these guys need stuff. In the meantime, this explosion of the number of channels has fractionalized the audience. 40 years ago, the BBC and ITV had 100% of the audience. Now, that same 100% of the audience is divided among 600 channels, which means a lot of channels have very, very few viewers. Very few viewers in a commercial world means very little money from advertising revenue. Very little money from advertising revenue means very little money to spend on content that you must have. If you go to a standard production company in New York or London or Mumbai or anywhere else, and they got reporters and they got secretaries and they got office space and they got researchers and they got associate producers and directors and assistant producers, they got a big overhead. So their break even to make a half-hour show is a lot. That's why places like Discovery and TLC and Travel Channel still pay $250,000 per half hour, or $200,000 or $150,000 per half hour for these shows. And these shows they buy in blocks of 13. So the trick here is to take your little iPhones and to break into this business, which you can do. What does the stuff look like? Turn on your TV. In your living room, you have a machine that tells you what that channel wants. They don't want you to come and reinvent the channel. They know what they like. So if you look at HGTV in the United States, or Food Network, or Travel Channel, all the shows pretty much look the same. They spend millions on audience research, so they know what they want. Your job is to give them more of what they got, more of what they want, a little twist here, a little twist there, but at a much lower price point. You can do this profitably. Get together with 2 or 3 of your friends, make a production company, and start pitching stuff. If you find this interesting, I'll do another video that explains how to pitch and how to do a sale. This year, our little company will produce 500 or more, I think, half hours for cable in America, 500 separate shows. That's a nice business. If you have that kind of income, you do all the journalism you want in your spare time. Get the concept? All right, that's all I got to say for today. I'm doing this directly for MojoCon. Nobody else, at least you're the first. I'll talk to you later.